Hello, Miss Yvonne Williams. Responding to your post. Honestly, I didn't watch all the videos. I just read the title, description, and picked one that I thought that I was just most curious about, and so it was the addiction ones. But nevertheless, you did read all of them, and you said a common theme is that I see. The common theme I see is that as counselors, we should not judge any population just because it is something you have never seen or experienced yourself. I think there is going to come a time in every counselor's life where they're going to have a case that they probably never experienced. But I know at the beginning of our textbook, there was a nice little section on empathy, and that's exactly what you're saying here. Let me see. Our textbook talks about marginalization, which focus on the average, and if a person or a group does not fit that average, they are considered unusual. Yeah, that's sad. Sometimes I see that. I seen that when I worked on the PAC team. When we would have our meetings every morning. It was sad, man. As professionals in a intense or severe, working in a intensive community treatment, how professional some of my coworkers would talk about the clients and make jokes and stuff like that. And that was one of the reasons why I left the company too. Because I feel like if you don't have compassion, empathy, if you're not empathetic, willing to listen, if you're not trying to help, you should not be in the human service field, period, anyway. But I don't know. I think we all are unusual in one way or another. There's something about us. After all, God does say we're like peculiar anyway. But you said, for example, the video on the divorce case, the lady speaks about how devastating the process of her divorce was and how much damage she experienced. And you said, I would see her as a survivor of a disaster, even though some people may believe that a divorce is not a real disaster because they have never experienced that before. Now, see, I never been married before. I'm engaged now, but I never been married before. But I did grow up in a household, a two-parent household, and when I was 15, they divorced, and they was fine. Like, they was okay with divorce, but me as the child, I wasn't. That was very devastating to me, especially as we was a Christian family in a Christian home. It was always said that a family prays together, stays together. So that was traumatic for me as a child, for my parents to divorce. But literally 4 years later, they both remarried. So I guess it was mutual. Anyways, when I read that, I remember taking, marriage and family life counseling in undergrad. And I remember, and this was maybe 2015 I took, I was taking this course at Regent, and my professor, Dr. Henkel, I remember we watched a clip, and he asked us, showed us the statistics of Christian divorces and secular divorces, and I was shocked to see that the rate for Christian divorces was higher than couples who weren't Christians. Like secular divorce, Christian divorce rates were higher, and that was shocking, and that was sad, because marriage is a covenant between man and woman that God established, and it is supposed to be unto death. I guess the only way you could get out of it was like what I think, like adultery or something like that. But one thing I'm glad that I did read your post, because once again I didn't watch all the videos, but you also said about the video on hospice, a lot of misconceptions concerning the hospice population that was cleared up for you in that video. You said you wasn't aware that hospice staff continued to follow the family 13 months after the death of their loved one. I didn't know that. And the reason why that I'm grateful that I did read your post is because my grandmother was in hospice. They gave her like 6 months. And yeah, she literally did have 6 months. But anyway, she did it from home because she wanted to be in the comforts of her home. And so yeah, I think at that time it's all about the comfort of the patient. But the reason why I'm glad is because I have not heard from the hospice staff since my grandmother died, January 2019. Haven't heard anything from them. My mom haven't. So, I mean, it's not like something I can do, I would do, but it was just, I mean, you just learn something because I never knew that. Even like me being a case manager, a shelter coordinator, I transition people, I still got to do like case follow-up for 6 months. So, I don't know. My mom's a social worker and she never said anything about it. But anyways, I appreciate your post. I learned something from it. The hospice thing I didn't know, and I totally agree with you. Sometimes when we have expectations and those expectations aren't met, disappointment sets in. So it can be traumatic. Divorce can be traumatic for everyone that's involved. So anyways, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, but as always, as I tell people, I pray that God blesses you and your family, keeping them safe, your loved ones, your friends, and I pray that God continue to bless every goal you set and that you will accomplish it in Jesus' name. All right.